I am reading part 4, chapter 11 of The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. So let's get into it, but quickly before I do, I'm just going to mark the page with my bookmark so I know when the end of the chapter is. Chapter 11. Yesterday morning I went to the doctor's. Was taken by a guardian, one of those with the red armbands who are in charge of such things. We rode in a red car, him in the front, me in the back. No twin went with me. On these occasions I'm solitaire. I'm taken to the doctor's once a month for tests, urine, hormones, cancer smear, blood tests, the same as before, except that now it's obligatory. Obligatory. I'm just gonna go with that. I know what they're trying to say, but I can't pronounce it properly. The doctor's office is a modern office building. We ride up in the elevator silently, the guardian facing me. In the black mirror wall of the elevator, I can see the back of his head. At the office itself, I go in. He waits outside the hall with the other guardians, on one of the chairs placed there for that purpose. Inside the waiting room, there are other women, 3 of them in red. This doctor is a specialist. Covertly, we regarded each other, sizing up each other's bellies. Is anyone lucky? The nurse records our names and the numbers from our passes on the computer doc to see if we are who we are supposed to be. He's 6 feet tall, about 40, a diagonal scar across his cheek. He sits typing, his hands too big for the keyboard, still wearing his pistol in the shoulder holster. When I'm called, I go through the doorway into the inner room. It's white, featureless, like the other one, except for a folding screen, red cloth stretched on a frame, a gold eye painted on it, with a snake twin sword upright beneath it, like a sort of handle. These snakes and the swords are bits of broken symbolism left over from the time before. After I filled the small bottle left ready for me in the little washroom, I take off my clothes behind the screen and leave them folded on the chair. When I'm naked, I lie down on the examining table, on the sheets of chilly, crackling disposable paper. I pull the second sheet, the cloth one, up over my body. At neck level, there's another sheet suspended from the ceiling. It intersects me so that the doctor will never see my face. He deals with a torso only. When I'm arranged, I reach my hand out, fumble for the small lever at the right side of the table, pull it back. Somewhere else a bell rings, unheard by me. After a minute, the door opens. Footsteps come in. There's breathing. He isn't supposed to speak to me, except when it's absolutely necessary. The doctor is talkative. How are we getting along, he says. Some tick of speech from the other time. The sheet is lifted from my skin. A drop pimples me. A cold finger, rubber-clad and jellied, slides into me. I am poked and prodded. The finger retreats, enters otherwise. Withdraws. Nothing wrong with you, the doctor says, as if to himself. Any pain, honey? He calls me honey. No, I say. My breasts are fingered in their return. A search for ripeness rot. The breathing comes after. So the breathing comes nearer. I smell old smoke, aftershave, tobacco dust on hair. The voice very soft, close to my head. That's him, bulging the sheet. I could help you, he says, whispers. What? I say. Shh, he says. I could help you. I've helped others. Help me, I say, my voice as loud as his. How? Does he know something? Has he seen Luke? Has he found? Can he bring back? How do you think, he says, still barely breathing it in. Barely breathing it. Is that his hand, sliding up my leg? He's taken off the glove. The door's locked. No one will come in. They'll never know. It isn't his. He lifts the sheet. The lower part of his face is covered by the white gauze mask regulation. 2 brown eyes, a nose, a head, with brown hair on it. His hand is between my legs. Most of these guys can't make it anymore, he says. Or they're sterile. I almost gasped. He said a forbidden word, sterile. There is no such thing as a sterile man anymore, not officially. There are only women who are fruitful and women who are barren. That's the law. Lots of women do it, he goes on. You want a baby, don't you? Yes, I say. It's true. And I don't ask why, because I know, give me children, or else I die. There's more than one meaning to it. You're soft, he says. It's time. Today or tomorrow would do it. Why waste it? I'd only take a minute, honey. What he called his wife once, maybe still does. But really it's a generic term. We are all honey. I hesitate. He's offered himself to me, his services, at some risk to himself. I hate to see what they put you through, he murmurs. It's genuine sympathy. And yet he's enjoying this, sympathy and all. His eyes are moist with compassion. His hand is moving on me, nervously and with impatience. It's too dangerous, I say. No, I can't. The penalty is death, but they have to catch you in the act. With 2 witnesses. What are the odds? Is this room bugged? Who's waiting just outside the door? His hand stops. Think about it, he says. I've seen your chart. You don't have a lot of time left, but it's your life. Thank you, I say. I must leave the impression that I'm not offended, that I'm open to suggestion. He takes his hand away, lazily almost, lingering. That is not the last word. As far as he's concerned, he could fake the tests, report me for cancer, for infertility, have me shipped off to the colonies with the unwoman. None of this has been said, but the knowledge of his power hangs nevertheless in the air as he pats my thigh, withdraws himself behind the hanging sheet. Next month, he says. I put on my clothes again behind the screen. My hands are shaking. Why am I frightened? I've crossed no boundaries. I've given no trust, taken no risk. All is safe. It's the choice that terrifies me. A way out. A salvation. End of chapter 11. Chapter 12 will be later on. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed that chapter. I have to say, when that doctor came in, my heart was going I was so, like, creeped out, and I thought he was going to take it too far and force her to do you know what. But yeah, that was creepy. Like, the way he just started, touching her leg. Ew. Anyway, that's all. Bye.